Yo. 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 Yo, yo, yo. How are we doing, boys? How are we doing today? Isn't it a lovely day for just amazing requirements for an SBC? I haven't taken a look at new content at all today yet. I had a feeling we were going to get an 85 plus player pick. There's some rumors going around it was only going to be 4 cards. So I can't wait to take a look at this. I'm so excited. Let's see, did it come out? Oh, we got it, boys. The 85 player pick is out. All we got to do is keep it the same requirements as before, and it's a huge W. What an amazing company. Oh my gosh. EA, I love you so much. The grind is saved. Let's get it, baby. Am I reading that right? Chat, does that say 8 rares? $11 golds? What a grind, EA. W. I'm loving the new grind. You guys have the wrong idea of Giannis. You guys were trolling him the other day. You guys were giving him crap. You don't understand Giannis yet. I fully get Giannis now. It's wonderful. Alright, let's get started. We'll do some PPs. Dude, I had like 5 in a row where I didn't even get higher than an 86. It was wild. He is loving it. EA, hand over your entire club. Maybe we'll give you an 86. Seems like a good deal. They were mocking me? No, they were comparing you to C-Barbs. I wouldn't say I was mocking, but... Alright. We're going to spam the goal 85 doubles. We have 43 right now. I have almost 600 crafting upgrades. W. I don't know about y'all, but these are going crazy earlier. Dude, I saw your message about that. I genuinely think you guys have different player picks than me. Do you compare me to C-Barbs? No, you guys are 2 completely different individuals. No one can compare to C-Barbs. It's not fair to compare. I have a new player, and I get pretty confused when you talk about jumbo gold, etc. Do you quick sell the cards that come in from those? So yes and no. We have videos that go more over like exact coins and where you can get coins and additional coins. But strictly when it comes to the jumbo gold and you hear us talk about quick sell value, we just give a quick thing where we say, if you were to literally quick sell every item in the pack, bare minimum, you're usually getting at least 5K. But usually you're not doing that. Usually if you look at different managers, usually if you look at different chem styles, usually if you look at injury cards, you're making way more coins than that. So, best way I would say for you to learn Just open a jumbo gold pack and just compare price on stuff and see if it has value on the market. And then from there, you get a general idea of like how much things can go for. Does that make sense, bud? And the best way to do it, in my opinion, is I usually open them in big groups. I don't just do like one at a time. I'll list in big groups as well. I'm sticking to 85 doubles a majority of the time. I'm still probably going to do a decent amount of 85 plus player picks this week. But if you guys didn't see our video today, we kind of go over what the grind looks like right now if you're trying to do 85 plus player picks as your priority. I would say, though, no one should be having 85 plus picks be their priority. I would much rather you guys grind the 85 doubles. Or if you're going to have the 85 plus player pick be your main thing you focus on, it's not going to get you as far in the grind as things we used to do. Now, that being said, if you guys have been taking my advice in building out both the daily provision packs and building out the 80 plus times 5, you will still, most likely, you could spam those player picks. It would take you so long to come even close to running out of packs. But I know not everyone's been doing that. So just let that be known. When it comes to EA, we said this all the time with the premium mix. I'll say it now with the 84 plus player pick. You can have not the best exchange system, but have the grind be absolutely insane if the repeatable content alongside of it is really good. But all it takes is one variable to change for the math to change just a little bit for it to become much worse. That's just like a heads up in the future. So, best way to protect yourself is when it feels too good to be true, start saving packs. Give yourself a little head start. Do 50 today to test them out. Why would I do 50, Giannis? Why wouldn't I do 100 plus? Why would you only want 50? Yeah, because when I started doing SBCs, I was like, why don't I sell these 50 cards and buy whatever I want until I figured out that all the cards are untradeable. 3 of the packs are untradeable. Yeah. 3 of the 5, but the 2 tradable are really nice. I already did 50, by the way. After the stream will end, probably hit the 100 plus mark. When I was saying you were getting good at rage bait, I was reading the comments before the stream started, and you were saying you've been making unlimited. I don't think you understand what unlimited means, buddy. Or you're rage baiting. What Giannis meant, or at least what I think he meant when he was saying that and people are asking him, he hasn't yet run into the mathematical issue because he grinded so much in advance. It feels that way right now, but once you do enough and that all starts drying up, every little thing you do means so much more. Can't wait to use 11 golds for an 86 rated max. Guys, I'm sick and tired of seeing all of you guys complain that EA isn't giving us a grind. Guys, the 85 plus player pick, hot take, this is an absolute grind. What you'll have to do to get your club back if you fully submit everything, there's no return. Do you have a vid on how to grind? Don't know where to put my dupe 84s. Yeah, football, if you look at the pinned playlist in the chat, also if you look at, oh, actually I didn't pin it in chat yet, I don't think. There's a grind playlist in the description, has all our grind videos on it. If you take a look just at the videos on our channel too, you'll see every recent SBC that's came out that we've made a how to grind video on. No, you're not understanding what I'm saying, Shallow. I'm saying you guys are complaining that this isn't a grind. I'm saying it's so much of a grind that if you do it, EA's taking everything from you. So you're gonna have to grind a lot more to get it back is what the point is. I'm not rage bait. It feels so... There you go. His emotions are in it. He says it feels. It feels. Want to do 500 or 600 this week of the 85s, but don't know. Maybe the math will get me. Give me your pack situation right now, outside of the specials in the club. Give me your pack situation. I'll tell you right now. Give me the amount of player picks you've made so far. Give me the amount of 80 plus you have. 80 plus times 5 you have saved. Give me the 85 doubles you have saved. Give me the provisions you have saved. And I'll give me your exchanges you have saved, and I'll give you the exact math on how long that's going to last. I am the menu grind whisperer. I can predict your future. Loki, it's time to just wait for the 8410. I disagree. You guys can still do a ton of grinding every single day. What you got to understand too is every other grind on the menus is still perfectly fine. It's just not going to go the unlimited direction you've been building this past week or so. So if you've been doing nothing but making player picks, but then you haven't built any additional packs or don't have the fodder from the additional ones you're making, it's going to feel like you're starting towards square one a little bit more. But that's why you build up the foundation. Even day to day, you still have that foundation. Day to day, if you're doing the menu grind, think about all the things you're accomplishing on a day-to-day basis. You're just not going to be doing as many player picks if you choose to do player picks. But that's why I recommend the 85 double over it anyways. $320 footies provisions should be pretty unlimited myself. I'll buy 4. Exactly. And the point I say with that is when something like this comes out and it's not as good as what we had last week, again, we might be looking at this, and if EA gives us a better provision pack on Thursday when it's set to expire, the math becomes potentially favorable, and then it doesn't matter as much. But for now, it's not as good, thus why you build up packs in advance. But think of the menu grind either day to day or week to week in terms of like how much you're doing and what direction you want to go. It's the case that probably some of you guys, like, we'll use White as the example. He has 320 footies provisions. If he grinded the 85 plus player pick and only provisions, that number would probably relatively go down very quickly. And if you want to like perspective on this, think of, do you guys remember Team of Season crafting upgrades? When you'd put in 7 cards and you'd get 5 back, and we were able to endlessly spam 77 plus times 5s right back into them, but it was clear you were losing cards. And then at one point they changed it from the 77 plus times 5 to the 80 plus times 5 and made it where you needed 9 cards instead of 7. And then when it came to putting it back in, it was much more difficult to keep that number of crafting upgrades higher because it took way more cards back than you were getting. Same kind of logic applies here. If you have anything built up, that number will go down, but it'll also go up a little bit when it's going down, and then it goes down more. Then it goes up a little bit. So you can fight with it. Basically, all you have to do is get to the point where it doesn't hit 0. In daily, you can easily build that up. If last week's grind is a 10, how much do you rate today's? How low can I go? Can I go negative? I have 39 provisions repeatable. I made 50 picks already. I have 13 provision upgrades and 0 size, but 500 comments and 400 goals in the club. Okay, Giannis, I'm going to say to you, if you are so confident in what you were saying before, keep grinding the exact way you were. And I'm curious to check in with you tomorrow on how you're feeling. I'll get down to 200 or so and see how many picks I can do. I want to test them. Yep. And like, you saw the 85 double, right? And the 85 double, when compared to the 84 plus player pick, wasn't that bad. Mathematically, it was a little bit worse. But that's the reason we weren't doing it as much in the first place, is the player pick was just so good math-wise. So, it's not that big of a deal. And we'll test them out on stream today for you guys. We'll see if they're any good in terms of what you're getting out of them. I've gotten so many 85s and 86s. I do not believe you guys. I didn't build packs in advance. I build fodder in advance. I mean, technically, yeah. But you can get unlimited fodder by building out them in packs if you know that you're going to pack things in there. So, for example, if the thing that's stopping you from maybe, like, you're trying to put as many gold rares in your club so that you can do as many player picks as possible. If the thing that's stopping you is you're starting to pack maybe a lot of the same ones from provisions, they're starting to fill up your dupe storage, you're not able to open anymore because of that, you could just save up 80 plus times 5s, know that you're going to get 5 rares back, you're going to get some walkouts, you're going to get some promo cards, but like mathematically you can count off of that and be like, okay, I have X amount of these, I know I'm going to have bare minimum probably 3 to 4 usable gold rares in every single one of these that I can put right back in. So if I have 100, I can make X amount of player picks, I can make X amount of 80 5 doubles. I done 10 85 picks. You got 9 specials and 1 gold. Nice. What should I do with the 85s and 86s? My advice for the 85 86s, if you're wondering what I'm doing, is I always have 30 to 50 footies in my dupe storage because I pack them all the time. I mix those footies cards in with 85s and 86s. And I do both the 88 and the 89 rated team and the 95 plus footies FOF player pick to make liquid coins and have a chance at 99s. I'm still soft man from 6 hours ago? Really? The exchange would have to have as much as the 89 exchange did in FC24 for it to be super favorable, which never happened. We need 40 cards minimum for it to be repeatable with the 85 PP. Thanks, appreciate it. My SBC storage was filling up with them. Yeah, that I'm glad a lot of you guys are starting to put some cards higher than like 89 rated into your exchanges, because I'm telling you, once you start doing that, your dupe storage becomes a piece of cake. My dupe storage is the occasional like 90 plus special card, which means I have a ton in my club already that I can make exchanges with. But basically, I want my dupe storage to be close to half footies cards and then 85s and 86s. When it hits that, I kind of know I'm ready to do a bunch of 95 PPs. Is there an easy way to do that Foot Genie, or do I have to do it manually? I actually wouldn't recommend doing it on Foot Genie or Pale Tools. That one's actually pretty fun to do on console. So what I would do is I would put golds, max 86, minimum 85. If you want to add 84s in, that works pretty well too, depending on how many footies you have. And then what I do is I'll just do that with also dupe storage and club. And basically with whatever it gives me, I then just go to my SBC storage and I put a few footies cards in there. I usually do 2 footies cards per section. And when it's the 88, I mix in more 84s and 85s. And when it's the 89 rated squad, I usually mix in more 86s and a few 85s. And then for footies, I'll usually use 96s and or 97s that are in my dupes for the 89. And then for the 88, I'll use the 95s. You don't have to be that exact. I just find those little tweaks make it infinitely easier than saving a bunch of like 90 rated specials that you have 15 million of and you're trying to put 3 or 4 of them in to get an exact rating mixed in with your golds. I just find it's a lot smoother. I scrapped at 100 picks and he got 99 Cruyff and Team Leader Mbappe and tons of high rated fodder. Nice. Another thing to consider too, right? Obviously, we were just having the conversation about repeatability. Can you truly do unlimited with just the player picks itself and exchanges? No. But if the offset, if the change is because they're harder to do, pack weight might be better when it comes to 99 footies. In my opinion, this is now a place that I'm going to try to at least put some stuff daily. I'm not going to go insane with it daily, but I'm going to at least put some there. Same way with like the 95 plus player pick, you have a chance there. Promo packs, you have the chance. Dailies, you have the chance. We're essentially just looking at all the best places that you can grind and have the best chance. And yes, I consider store packs a grind because you're making liquid coins from the menu grind. And those liquid coins are buying you store packs. But I would only stick to the store packs that give you a FUTTIES player pick guarantee in there. The best ones are the ones that give you multiple guaranteed. Mumbo, did you see my intro at the start of stream? Did I miss it? Mumbo Jumbo Gold Pack New Castle 85. That's the same one he did yesterday. I may need to get back home and use my Xbox before it lets me use the app again. Really? Why is that? What a pack, boys. Cold. Crafted 185 picks, and you got 99 Cruyff, and Team Mbappe, and tons of high-rated fodder. W. I'm going to have 4.5 mil. I'm going to spend it on 87s. Nice. Yeah, you could literally... Another thing you could do, too, if you guys really didn't want to do anything outside of player picks, and you had any amount of coins over probably like 100K, you could literally probably just mass bid on a bunch of 87s, flip a bunch for easy coins because people will buy them like crazy by the end of the hour, and you're just winning them on cheap for bid. You flip a lot for pure profit, you make a bunch of player picks and provisions in the meantime, and you just keep recycling through those and then making liquid coins. Not sure if it's the Stockholm Syndrome or something, but I'm kind of glad to do the 85 too now so I can do more mixed leagues instead. Yeah, the funny thing is, as someone who's no longer doing the premium mixed league upgrade, ironically, people are going back to the premium mixed league upgrade and they're seeing how good it is. But on top of that, my thing is for the 85 double, I slacked off the 85 double for so much last week because of the 84 plus player pick. Now I'm slacking off the 85 player pick to do the 85 double. But you know what we never slacked off? You know what's always been there for us? Whether people believed in it or not? The 80 plus times 5. AKA the crafting upgrade. So basically free 87s? Basically, yeah. I mean, if you're thinking of like a potential grind at the start of next game too, that's going to be a very big one for SBC rating and or SBC points. Is literally you could just get into the position where if, let's say, since there's no rarity, if everything is considered gold rare or gold common, or like the price things are going for is roughly that. Let's use 75 as an example. If you can mass bid on 75, 76s, 77, 78, 79s, and 80s and win them for 300, 350 coins, and every gold goes for, let's say, 400 plus by the end of the hour, you could make coins in every single card, but the 80 is going to have double the SBC value that the 75 does. So if you can win that card for the same price that you're winning the 75, you're going to need half the cards if you use an 80 over a 75 to get an SBC done. So when it comes to the idea of mass bidding, putting some things in your club to use and some things to sell, keep that in mind. Also, if you just care about the selling aspect, that puts a lot more value on the 80 rated card than the 75. It doesn't take value away from the 75. There's the base value all to it. But people are willing to spend more. People are willing to lazy buy more. People are willing to give you whatever money they have because they need it. So if you wanted to do 87 bidding right now, that's going to get you in a really good position to understand the market next year. New video idea: how to cure infinite depression from EA's SBC decisions. It's August, but I can't stop doing the mixed league. The dopamine of quick selling 7K special card hits different. Dude, if you guys don't mind using your Foot Genie, and soon to be Pale Tools as well. Pale Tools is working on their own multiple sections done. Paleto's hard at work right now. It's supposedly going to be in the next patch. It's on the devs version, but it's not on the official versions yet. Low-key, these are hidden a little bit. It's a shame we can't recycle them. It's sad, but what That's what we are left with after Foottie's, which we already knew. The pack weight grind has been trash this year. You just confirmed it. But you want to know what the funny thing is? I think the funniest thing when it comes to like EA and their content like this is it would be a lot more tolerable if they just curved it up. Their issue is they'll like go from 0 to 100 to -10 to 50. That by the time they give you something that's somewhat useful, you're like, dude, what are we doing? For example, 84 player pick. 84 player pick with the math was phenomenal last week. Theoretically, whether they did it on purpose or not, I'm assuming they did it on purpose. That's my guess. They made the math worse so that it could make it less of a grind for standard person, like person to person. But in reality, it should have almost been the opposite. It should have been that the 84 is harder to do, doesn't make sense mathematically, but it slowly got better for the next one. But now a lot of people are stuck at the, it's gotten worse, I don't want to play this anymore. Which is ironically how the game gets every single year after the first month anyways. People start, they're like, okay, it's going to be different this year. I'm enjoying it so far. One patch and they're like, alright, I'm done. You take 2 weeks off the game and then it's 50% off by Black Friday. Don't understand the SBC soft ban. They bring out grindable SBCs for footies, then ban us for grinding them. Yes, because EA doesn't care about you. I just need them to scrap the whack exchange and just increase the provisions we have. Well, the good news is if we give them a bunch of negative press right now and we keep hitting hard, maybe Thursday's exchange, when this one's set to expire, becomes way better. Who knows? Like the 88 plus player pick would be seen as an amazing thing to do if we had even crazier exchanges come out. Yeah, I'm probably going to aim for 50 to 100 player picks a day would be my guess. For the next few days. Because we basically have to get to Thursday, right? That's the goal, getting to Thursday. We've been cycling weekly between decent picks and dog shit picks for the past month. It's longer than a month. If you go back to when we really were doing the premium mix like crazy, that would always be the thing alongside of it. The same way for the last month it's been. But even longer, it'd be like, okay, crafting upgrades are cracked right now, back when it was the 77 plus times 5. Because the amount we'd be able to make and not even need to use was crazy. But then whenever we wanted to stop League SBCs, remember when we had like 1,000 plus built out and we just endlessly spam them open on stream and then recycle them to basically almost the same exact number with the daily provisions? Like we'd go from 1,000, not even all the way down to 0 because we'd have so much we'd have to do in the meantime. It'd go from like 1,000, we'd maybe dip down to 900, then we'd go back up to like 990, then we'd go back down to maybe 875, then we'd get to like 960, and then we'd get down to like 850. And it just did that over and over and over. And then each day with the provisions and other stuff, you'd get access to more cards outside of your existing grind. And that was crazy back then, if people were doing it. Alright, we have all our dailies we gotta do, boys. My controller's low. It's plugged in. What are we talking about? Oh, it's not plugged in. Now it's plugged in. Alright, we're going to start with the 88 plus times 5s. You get so many footies? Yeah. You're doing the 85 plus despite it not being infinite, and you basically go minus 187 each time you crap the provision into it. Yeah, and if we do 50 to 100, it's not going to affect me that much. So is it worth it to do the 85 player pick? Depending on how you're doing it, I could argue yes. I would argue for most people, no. If you kind of want a step-by-step of the ways I would recommend doing it so you can see kind of the visual of it, I'd take a look at our upload today where we talk about how to grind it. I would say just quickly, though, to answer your question, most people, not only is it not worth it to do, most people, if you make them the way you're making the 84 plus player pick, you're going to have nothing left in your club. should I just make the 80 times 5? 8410, 88 daily provisions for Thursday, then maybe provisions get better. I would say if you guys have had no issues getting the standard daily 8410s, 8510s, 88.5s done, provisions done, both daily provisions and a ton of exchanges from said packs that you're opening, think of it like this. When you logged on today, before new content, you didn't have any of those 8510s, 8410s, or 88.5s. You didn't have the daily provisions or any of those. When you did them, you got access to packs that contain potentially higher rated stuff in it. Chance at 99s, other things like that. When it didn't, and you had high rated fodder or things that you could put into the exchange, you had the possibility to put it into the exchanges, which give you a bunch of packs. With those packs, if you want to spam open those and put those into player picks until that number of provision packs gets low again, or it gets completely to zero, but you have golds left in your club, theoretically, you're still in a better position than you were the day before. The only way it becomes truly negative is if you go past that point, continue making the player pick, continue spamming all the golds you have in your club, pulling more of your provisions, putting more of your maybe high-end stuff that you're saving originally. That's when you get in trouble. If you want to go a little past that point, but you know you're going to recover it the next day, you still have stuff to grind, absolutely go for it. But what I'm trying to teach you guys is the math will get you to zero if you let it. Is this okay? I'm missing anything? So 84s and under into the 85 double, 87 to 91s into footies provisions, and then 85, 86s into footies. For the most part, yeah, I would say, you're going to call me crazy, I would say potentially put up to 94s into the provisions, to be fair. You can do any player SBC with footies and mix it with 85s, 86s. You can do the 95 player pick. And you're packing endless promo cards in your club that you can store whenever you want. Did you hear the rumor about that they're removing SBCs from the web app from 27? They better not be, because if they don't have them on the web app and or companion app, I will not be able to make a single SBC when I'm in Italy for 3 weeks. If they still allow it on the companion app, but it's strictly extensions they don't want people to use, that would make sense. But their marketing is the exact opposite. They've acknowledged even EA employees use extensions, so they would have to either ban themselves or the company's working against its best interests. In either situation, they'd have to address how horrific the menus are and how they can improve the speed and functionality. To be fair, the new point system, I think, is a step in the right direction, but that gives them a scale of variety of how they can screw that up too. We'll see some of the best valued SBCs you've ever seen for grinding and some of the most horrific ones. I'm curious what it does to fodder though. I wonder if it'll allow fodder to keep its price or not. This is when all the money we made from League SBCs come in play. We're going to spam the 85s. Yep, and again, I'm going to say this a million times. You might think I'm a broken record at this point, but I truly don't care. The whole point of my channel, past just teaching you guys how to make the new SBC that's out, if you pay attention to me throughout the year, if you pay attention to me throughout the course of different promos, I'm literally trying to make you more coins in more packs, not only in terms of having you constantly be able to open them and have coins. I want you to save up stuff. I want to show you you can make it so you're still opening endless packs, getting endless coins, and your pack number continues to go up. So that way, if EA removes something, if EA changes a part of the grind that wasn't as good as it was before, you are not operating on a day-to-day basis. A real-life example of this is, imagine you work a job where you're making a good amount of money. And because of that, you spend all the money you make, and you're not saving it, you're not investing it, you're doing nothing with the retirement funds. You're literally just living paycheck to paycheck because you think it's always going to come in. Then you get fired from your job, but you had rent you had to pay for, you had groceries you had to get, you have family that counts on you. All of a sudden, you now no longer can support your lifestyle through how you were making money before, because that money's not coming in. So you either got to do two things. You got to get a job that makes the same amount, if not more, if you want to keep your thing you're doing day to day going, or you got to find a way to justify what you're doing in a different way. Maybe you love grinding, maybe you love player picks, maybe now it's a cap on the amount of player picks you do. That's genuinely the way you have to think about it. And if you're younger and you're hearing that, that's really good life advice. But then it's the same people that are like, Mumbo, you have millions of coins. Why don't you spend them all on promo packs? How did we get millions of coins? You know what I mean? That being said, I'm probably the bad person to use that as an example. I spent 8 mil on promo packs this week. But you get what I'm saying? So, like, when they change it, it negatively affects it for sure, but it doesn't affect you on the exact day it happens. Long term, it's going to affect you if it stays being that bad, but we're thinking past just today. For example, if you look at we got Mbappe. Nice. If you think of this week, if you looked at the pinned comment on our newest video today, we talked about this week. We talked about how we have to basically get through the grind this Monday and Wednesday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. But on Thursday, the repeatables go away. If the repeatable exchange provisions go away and nothing replaces it, the grind gets even worse and EA is giving up completely on the game. If it comes back and it's the exact same thing, that means we have the other existing grinds that already work. Not as well as the 84 plus player pick, but still are there. And then if it gets even better, the existing grinds that we have are even better. And it maybe allows the 85 plus player pick to get to a point where it's almost as good as the 84 one was. But with the better pack weight, with the better pack luck, and a better chance at 99s. And for me, that's all it really comes down to. The value's great and all. I want to start getting SBCs that give me the better chance at the 99s. But if you're a millionaire, why don't you just buy 50 supercars and get insurance on every single one? And take them into the shops and constantly get them detailed and cleaned. If the exchange ain't coming back, then we ain't coming back. I'm going to be on this game until 27 comes out. You know, if I have to show people how to do bronze pack method to keep it going, we'll do that. Something told me if you had a learning disability, you shouldn't work normal jobs, only earn less so companies can help you. Very nice, isn't it? Someone told me if you have mild learning disabilities, you should work normal jobs, only earn less so companies can help you. Very nice, isn't it? Who said that? My mom doesn't drive and I've been fighting for my life trying to explain why we should not get another car. C-Barb said that. My ass ain't doing BPM. You say that now, but when 27 rolls around and you're generating a lot of your card catalog in your collection book because the points you're getting for the first owner bronze cards start hitting, you're going to think differently. That first daily SBC comes out, that first marquee matchups, bronzes and silvers hit like absolute crack. I don't know how it is in the US, but Europe, insurance, repairs, parking costs, an arm and a leg. Same here. Depending on where you live, probably even worse. It's probably the same in Europe. I know UK, it's the same. Like, costs in the Northeast versus costs in London would be the way I look at it. Both things will be expensive, but expensive for different reasons. London will be expensive because it's a huge city. The cost of living is super high. Northeast will be expensive because the job opportunities, the amount of money you can potentially earn there isn't as high unless you're playing for Newcastle United, taking Saudi money, and then leaving the club when a better offer comes. But like if you're from London looking at it relative, you're going to look at the Northeast and be like, dang, I wish my rent was that cheap. I wish housing prices were that low. Vice versa. Sharky, I'll be there, right now. I'm taking a flight over as we speak. I'm actually in an airplane right now. The how to grind the 85 plus player picks. It was such a good grind. It's making us so many coins that it allowed us to sell those coins and get a private jet to be grinding this at SBC on stream while you asked me to come there. Yeah, I'll be at the Palace. Where'd you get your 99s from? The 600k store pack, I got 2 of them, and then the 350k store pack, we got the 3rd one. All ones including multiple footies player picks. The 85 plus player picks is such a good grind to the point where none of us are doing it. The grind is so good that everyone has to come in and not ask how to do the grind. They ask why you're doing the grind. Why are you on this game? You skiing after the stream? I'm actually skiing right now. I don't know if you can see my lower half. The OnlyFans camera is showing that off. We got the leg shot on there. The feet shot. I actually have skis on my feet as we speak. W store packs. Keep all players on an even level. Hey, to be fair, EA does want everything to be on an even level. We all have access to the store packs. And I would argue the store packs are better on the menus than they are on the web app anyways. Why are you playing Ultimate Team? I want to see your footies. My store pack theory is buying with coins versus FC points gives different pack weight, but I can't prove it. Dude, I love Dexter so much. I cracked the code when it comes to Project Team of the Year. What people get wrong is they just try to save crap packs and think the number's gonna get them something. We do the premium mix grind before Team of the Year, make coins and packs that we save up over time. The packs give us nothing but just endlessly recycled packs into more packs like the league specific premiums. It's the making coins off of it, having millions. And the same thing with the 99s, finding those packs, the promo packs that give you the best odds, strategically using those then. That's the fun part. Alright, I think it's time for some more of these bad boys. I want to see your footies as well. Guys, one at a time. Relax. There's plenty of footies to go around. And when I say I usually have 30 to 50 of my dupe storage, and there's going to be some individual that says cap, 10, 20, 30, 40, almost 50. Oh, Mumbo, there's some Team of the Seasons on those pages. You said footies. You're right. I'm sorry. I've let you down. My B. Alright, we'll do 2 back to back. Yeah, this is how we build them out. I'll do the golds, usually 85s and 86s, or 84s, 85s, and 86s. Depends on which one we're doing. Then I'll pop in some of these. Bang. Bang. Wait, can we get away with... I want to test one with all 84s and see if that'd be good. What's good, Mumbo? How's the grind been with the new 85 PPs? The weight in them is insanely good. The ability to make a lot of them daily is not good. Unless you want to suck your club off. No diddy. Man, what a transfer window it's been. Best business Barcelona did was offloading the Satan and Araujo. Dude, it's... You guys got unlucky with Rooney's injury. He was just about to get loaned out. Sunderland was interested, but I know I think it was a few other Prem teams. I think Leeds was also potentially interested. Dude, he's had what? This is his second ACL injury in the last few years. He's had 3 big injuries at the age of 20. I feel so bad for him, man. Did EA remove the 25k EVA that gives footies cosmetics? I don't know, to be fair. Alright, 1 second, boys. I gotta change my laundry over to dry. 1 second. BRB! Alright, we're back. Boys, you think I'm going to score another long shot tonight? We scored 2 last week. Are we going to get another one tonight? That's the real question. Don't let Liverpool hear it. He's a good player. They should buy him. Alright, let's make some of these to clear the club a little bit. Also, to another thing that I do, Josh, what's up, buddy? And maybe this makes sense to some people because you've been doing it as well. To others, you're going to view it as wasting. Let me try to explain how it's not wasting while also wasting at the same time. So, what I like doing, especially when my storage starts filling up, I'll do storage all. I'll do minimum of 87. And I'll usually do like a maximum of 94. If you want to put this down to maybe like 93 or something, do what you want to do. I put newest. That way the cards that I'm constantly packing that are dupes, it's not necessarily storage only, but those are going to be the newest cards. Mixed in with the newest promo cards and golds that we keep getting. Those are going to show up all before those big promo cards you got months ago. Or the players in your favorite team that you've been evoing. You have so many to get through before those pop up. Ignore positions as well. I didn't put that on that. 1 second. Let me fix that real quick. And so what I'll do is I'll just, when I'm done with all the dailies, I'll go through and clear these. So with the amount of things I'm packing, there's enough FOFs in Team of the Seasons that I'm basically able to do a majority of my dailies with just those. I don't think I ever have to throw in a footies to do a daily. And I very rarely have to rely on a Team of the Week. I have Team of the Weeks I can put in, but I don't necessarily need to. And so then when I'm done for the day, if I don't clear them, especially right when we open the 8510s, the 8410s all together afterward, they just continuously fill up the dupe storage. And you might think it's a good idea to keep them for tomorrow. If you're about to get off the game and the next time you're going to get on is new content, it absolutely is. But if you plan to continue grinding, it's just one less spot that you can potentially open another pack and put items. Same applies when there's 10 of the same card that keeps getting duplicates. So what I'll do is I'll just clear all these, even those FOFs. If I want to keep a few FOFs, I can. It's not the end of the world if you want to not submit the one in your club if you have none on your dupe storage. But they fill up so quickly, I feel like, in packs, that I'm almost forced to do this. Mumbo, you look like Conte? Dude, I've heard that a few times this week. Can you get 99 Pedro Porro from the big pack? Yep, the 95 PP. You can get him in. Was it store packs that got you the 99s? Yes, the 600k one got us 2 in a single pack. One in the pack section, we got Marquinhos, and then we got Cruyff in the Footies player pick section of the 600k pack. And then the 350k pack, we got the other one. It's the unlimited repeatable 95 plus footies FOF pack that I'm talking about. What's the max rating you should put into the picks? For you, whatever you want. For me, I set it to 94. 2-1, bro found the happy hour? No, I found the EA's making you spend everything you have hour. I ripped through 4 of those 600k packs. And then after I ripped through all 4, I was disappointed that we didn't get anything. And I looked and EA re-upped it with another 4 right after I finished opening. Then I was like, dang, that must mean we have a 99 in this next one. And we literally had 2 in the next one. It was kind of funny. And then we did the same thing with the 350. We opened 4 350. I think we got nothing in those. And then we ripped another 4 because it refreshed again. And I think we got one on that re-rip. Seen a 99 Oyarzabal from one. I think all the Spanish 99s are in it because they're all Festival of Football cards, right? Grinding doesn't make you too many players, and eventually you'll have to get them from the store pack. Well done, EA. I completely agree with what you're saying, but I also completely disagree. And don't hear what I'm not saying and hear what I'm actually saying. Not only you, but everyone. At this current moment, with the weight of the SBCs and what SBCs we have on the menus and how repeatable they are, it is absolutely a 100% factual statement that promo packs are the best way to get these promo cards. However, when we start getting the better things, the 8410 repeatable, the 8510 unlimited repeatable, that's when it starts balancing out more. Right now, it's not as good, but it will get better. And that's also another reason why we're trying to get all these 99s, not this week. We're trying to get them by the end of the game. And as weeks go on, theoretically, right, you hope the grind gets better. But as we see from EA's perspective, they can make it worse. But with that same logic too, it's not that we're taking store packs over the menu grind. It's because of the menu grind we're able to do store packs. We're making so many coins from the packs that it funds those promo packs. You just got to choose wisely what you buy then. Been unlucky with those 600k packs. Must have opened 8 by now. 198 solid. That was what I got. Dang, man. The best SBCs to grind are the ones that give you jumbo gold packs, mixed league, 95 plus picks. Yep. And like the thing with the premium mix that got people for so long was they approached it from the standpoint of like, oh, I'm going to do a single run and I expect to get a promo card in this. I didn't get a promo card. These must be bad. They're not looking at it from the perspective of how easy it is to cycle through these, how it can make even more packs outside of that, but most importantly, how we can generate coins while doing this. And like, coins are the king when it comes to anything. I would love a menu grind where you don't have to worry about coins too. Those have existed in the past. Those existed last week too. You could have went even crazier on the 84 plus player picks and put literally everything into exchanges instead of 95 pluses, instead of player SBCs. You probably could have made even more player picks than you did. But the trade-off is you're not getting those coins, right? Same logic with the 94 plus SBC, where you have to put in the 90 rated team, but it's just one SBC section. So you get 0 packs from it outside of the actual pack itself. You're getting no coins. It's less fodder total you have to put in for a chance at a potential 99. But the coins that you're missing out on could be used in other areas. Especially now in this case, you could buy 87s. These 8510s are so bunions. Dude, my 8410s, people complain about the 8410. I feel like I have a decent hit rate from it. But I'm super excited if that becomes the thing that's unlimited repeatable by Friday. Not because I think we're going to get a 99 footies from the 8410 itself, but the ability to put that into everything else is going to make the menu grind a whole different level. And then inevitably 8510 is usually the best thing. But remember when you met the royal family? Oh my gosh, dude, how many are you going to make today? Also, too, just a heads up, we've been live for almost an hour. I'm probably going to be live for another hour or so, and then I got to head off because we have our football match tonight. E410s aren't any better, although repeatable ones would be a nice bonus. It would be funny if we get the 8410. I was going to make a video this week if it got confirmed that we were getting it to grind the 85 plus player picks the same way we were grinding the 84s if it was going to be the same requirements and build up the 80 plus times 5. Hundreds of them. That way you could make a crap ton of team of the week upgrades with those right off the rip to be ready for it. That can't necessarily happen though. It still technically can, but it's not going to be as good. Martin, what's up, buddy? Hey, man, how's you? Hope you're all well. You too, brother. Question, what will the new grind with the new player pick? What will the new grind be? We walk over all the different grinds I'd recommend and kind of like the different things you'd get from them in the newest video today. So if you're looking for more of a step-by-step, the amount of cards you have to put into things, what you could potentially get out of it, what recycles well, 85 plus player pick versus 84 player pick. We show kind of all those paths and all that in the video today. Quick answer to that, 85 plus player pick on its own isn't anywhere near as good as the 84. And not only that, the 84 player pick, you could do it in unlimited direction where you could build out more of everything else. The 85 will do the opposite, where it will suck everything in your club if you're not careful with how you approach it. For most people, I'd recommend the 85 double over it. What do you think of the new pick? What do we think of Tottenham? That's what I think. Thank you. Thank you. A lot of people saying the grind died a little today. The straightforwardness that people were used to doing with the 84 plus player pick absolutely died today. The menu grind that we've been doing in the first place, if you substitute the 84 player pick with the 85 double, can stay almost the exact same. It's like 95% the same instead of 90 or 100%. Wobble, I heard you bought a Solomon West Ham jersey. Did you hear from Lena? I don't think we're going to see Lena here again. I made her too upset yesterday. Yeah, Solomon just signed for West Ham. Let's change the 85 double, do the daily stuff minus bronze silver, and spam 85s and the 85s into the 90 pick. Provisions, pretty unlimited so far. Yeah, like I said, it's very similar to the 84 plus player pick in terms of the math. When you look at it, we didn't do the 85 double for so long because the math was better on the 84 PPs, but these were still good. Winner smashed it at Leeds. Hop them back up. How old is he? Is he approaching 30? You saw a post about me on our foot? Really? What was it about? I'm assuming someone like linked a menu grind video. I'm just going to look at new. Is it today? You know what's funny? That's probably happened a ton. I see here, the grind. MumboElite has a really good grind all year. He spends hours proving how his grind works and releases multiple videos. He eventually spent 8 million coins to get 399s. If he's one of the best grinders out there and ended up blasting away a large proportion of coins he may have intended to do anyways, that's a terrible sign for the rest of us. I 100% did. Someone said, what else can you do with them? To be fair, he loves the Premium Mixed League too much, so he wastes his soft fan attempts there. Oh. That's awesome. Yeah, no, what I was saying was I've 100% been like a top daily post multiple times on r/foot. I know nothing about the site, but I can tell there's a large number of people that watch grind videos that aren't logged into YouTube from an external link. So they're watching YouTube through a link that they got on a site that's not YouTube. And that makes a lot of sense now. Yep, I'll keep the grind going by spamming the 85.2s. Just might not pack something. And honestly, can I be blunt with you guys? I'm somewhat these next few days looking forward to opening actual packs rather than scrolling through a player pick. Obviously, you'd want the math to be ideal for the player pick. That'd be fun. But, like, it's somewhat like a vacation. We've been grinding so much the same way. Get to mix it up a little bit. Mumbo was actually in a Dagnall vid too. Who/what is that? I don't think I've heard of that person. Oh, was it one you linked me one time? Like during Team of the Year? Or something? We've seen it on live? Yeah, I know which one you're talking about. I mean, to be fair, this isn't a flex or anything because I don't really think of myself too much as a content creator. Let's just use logic, right? The grinds get shared around. The community that still plays this game isn't as big as it used to. The people who still grind this game isn't as big as it used to. There's basically 100% chance that like Nepenthes has either seen vids or like heard of our community. That just happens to be the case. Like, think of it from the perspective of like anytime an SBC comes out that people don't think is good or good value, and we make a how to grind it video. People watch that because they want to see like, oh, why does this person think it's actually good to do the premium mix? And then they listen to it and they're like, oh, like the way he's explaining it. Oh, if he's doing it that way, he's making coins. Okay, gotcha. He's 27. I think he's still got a good few years in him. I could do as good if he stays fit. He's one of those players, and like his type of player is the one that I feel like you almost have to avoid them if you want sustainability in the Premier League. I group him in the players that are way too good for the championship, but not good enough for consistency in the Prem. And that's very difficult to find like offload solutions to those players. Outside of like a loan in a top 5 league to just keep them on the books and their wages. Especially when they get older and older too. It's like, okay, what do you do with it? Some teams, like you'll have, I mean, Sheffield did it for a while. Ipswich does it with Burnley quite a bit now. Like, they'll just rotate each other's players. SC26 content creation is so dead. Every week there's a best grind FC video. It's telling you to do your dailies and current and best picks. I mean, it's always been that way to a certain extent. It would be that way for like coins too. Like, think of 5 to 10 years ago. How many make 50K on this filter right now? And it's a dude telling you to look at marquee matchups, at what's required, and put it in and snipe the cards. Like, you know it's coming every single week. There's an Nick fellow who makes the same vid every day, I swear. I mean, to be fair, like, one of the reasons I, for years, would only make a video like once a month on a grind was kind of the same reason. It feels like we're, at least my perspective, if you know this information, it feels somewhat repetitive, even if there's a new said thing. But when it comes to, like, people's questions on it, I was genuinely shocked, like, how many people needed an updated video after a single video. How to grind, 3 different vids a day. What was related to my toothbrushes, dogs, mums, cousins, dads, apples? Started watching after I found your Pale Tools template, then I slowly learned how to make my own. Yeah, dude, I low-key missed the template era. Pretty soon, you're not even going to need templates for Pale Tools. The next patch, he's going to be Foot Genie. I'll still use Pale Tools. I'm going to use half Pale Tools and half Foot Genie. And I don't mean half my time on each. I mean a majority of my time on both at the same time. Give me... Wait, which one do we like more? Are we more of a fan of Pale Genie or Foot Tools? Rather give money to Israel than Foot Genie? Shakespeare said that? They had a grind back then? Neither it's haram. So much cooler tonight? How much is the temp cooldown? From what to what? Also, remember how I said the Madden community got exchanges? Or not exchanges, they got Evos. And they're talking about how it's the greatest thing ever. I was watching YouTube videos on it. And it's like a carbon copy. I'm just getting flashbacks to me and Sunderland. So, when we started getting Evos when Sunderland was in the championship and most of the cards were still bronzes and silvers that I wanted to make, I was watching channels that were doing the same thing with, like, the Cleveland Browns players. It's like players that'd be nowhere near starting lineup or, like, a all-pro team. You can now get these to basically be competitive with other cards. The amount of teams you're going to make is absolutely insane. And then I can't remember if it was the exact same channel or if it was one very similar. But for the sake of this, we're going to pretend it's the same channel. Like, the next video I see from him is basically, like, the most meta one you can use for this Evo. Use your Evo on Aaron Rodgers. He has elite stats in every area but speed. You put it on here, it's game breaking. And then if the player doesn't know that you Evo'd Aaron Rodgers that you're playing against, they're going to pressure him when he's deep in the pocket, and you're going to basically be able to run for a first down each time. They're going to pressure you. They're going to send too many people forward because they don't think you have the speed, and you're just going to run right by them. 85 PP or 85 plus back? I would personally focus on the 85 double this week. If you were asking for which one would be better to grind. But you can do both. Just not as many 85 PPs as you're doing 84s. Mumbo Discord pick, please. I'm looking. Let's see. Dude! Stop. Guys, stop. 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 Delete that, Sharky. Sharky, we can't put that in there. Sunderland hasn't made the announcement yet. Stop. Stop. Delete it. They can't know. Fabrizio needs to confirm it tomorrow. Hold on. W88. Live score bet. Full top. Vascularity on the wrists and hands. No bicep muscle. Low body fat percentage, not low enough to probably be single digits. Lengthy. Fingernails cut. Fingers. This appears to be Elborg, the Swedish backup goalkeeper that we signed last season. Can I see the original image you got that from? Can I confirm it? I'm saying Elberg. Actually, hold on. No, that was before Gestafi came in. Hold on. No, this was before Gestafi came in. That's not Gestafi, yeah. So this was before Gestafi. We got him towards the end of the window. No, it was midsummer we got him. The signing would have been before. It wouldn't be Enzo Lefebvre. Would it have been a player who signed a new contract who was already at the club? Now I genuinely don't know. Yeah, dude. That's Gertruda. 100%. The Royal Grinder. Have you heard of the preseason Pirlo term for Goldbridge? He gave it to Mason Mount for looking insane in preseason. The season hasn't even started yet. He already got injured. Are you sure it's not Brobby? It's either Brobby or Gertruda. Or both. Brian Brobby. Dude, I saw a video of Brobby the other day. Sunderland did a, welcome back all their players on the extended World Cup break, and they came back to training. And Granite was on the physio table getting massaged, and Brobby came in, and he was smiling, jumping up and down, laughing with them. I've never seen that dude that happy before. I was so confused, man. Kafu, get out me box. Get out me club. He's happy he's off the Netherlands camp. That's what being coached by Coleman does. I feel bad for Roofs. I feel like, I mean, obviously I'm biased. I feel like Roofs deserves a chance to be Netherlands' #1 keeper. I think after this season, I think he'll be given more of an opportunity, but I don't know. Brian did all right last season too. So, makes sense. You want to know what's even more annoying than needing more cards for the 85 plus player pick? It's the fact that they mix gold commons and gold rares. Whoever's idea of that royally screwed up. Now it's just another thing to think about when you're grinding, if you're trying to be specific. I mean, just open a provision and do a mix of most recent and kind of just look, but still. It's the fact that they're adding more roadblocks. And then that's less cards in our crafting upgrades. That's what they really nerfed. They didn't nerf the 84 player pick, guys. That's fake news. What they really nerfed is trying to take your attention away from the 80 plus times 5. Guess the idea is to use more third-party app. Wait a minute. Seems like they get commission back from using them. Well, it's like, I'm trying to think. Did EA ever have an issue? Obviously, it's a completely different thing. We're talking about a different site now. Extensions and sites are different. Did EA ever have an issue with Footbin and those type of sites back in the day? Were there ever any issues with those? Maybe like updating price points and things like that? Now it's like they're partnered with EA. Like you're able to link your EA account onto these. I feel like if EA wants to not make their menus better, you just have the Foot Genie and Pale Tools people help do it there. You don't even have to pay them. They would do it for free. Or what they're already getting paid. That's my recollection. They had an issue. Which is good because the reason I bring that up is like Footbin and all these other things, I find only enhances my Ultimate Team experience. It provides a good that makes the game even better. It doesn't take away from it. Same thing with extensions. I think extensions are great because it keeps people playing the game more. People use it from the perspective of EA says like, oh, you're able to attain stuff quicker, therefore it's an unfair advantage and you get to said point faster. If I don't have extensions, I'm probably not playing the game this late in the year. It's because extensions are a thing that we're able to tolerate it. You know what I mean? And I'm sure a lot of you guys are the same way. Where it's like, the only reason you're doing any sort of grind in the first place is because a mix of extensions and then hopping on the game when you're SVC banned. I know for a fact they have data on it. They have to. Simply they're trying to make our life miserable at the end of the game, so when the new SVC system comes out, we feel a new innovation of the 2080s. I mean, like, I can see that. Make it difficult so that way when the new system comes out. Dude, I genuinely, for the memes, I hope we get a Player of the Month Mbappe. And I try challenge where it's like I literally try to do Player of the Month Mbappe with only bronze players. If it allows us to use that low of a rating. You know what? Actually, This could be make or break for the grind next year. If there's obviously a limit to the amount of players you can put in at once. So for example, you might be able to use as many players as you want to do an SBC, but to submit at once, you can only put up to 30, right? Let's assume you're allowed to do sets of 30 as many times as you want and put all bronzes in to get Player of the Month Mbappe done. Let's say that's possible, because it theoretically could be. My question is, what counts as an SBC completion versus what counts as just points being used towards that total? Could I spam a bunch of bronzes into Mbappe, but since I haven't completed Mbappe yet, it hasn't counted as a SBC use? If that's the case, something like BPM could be really nice to get decent chunks of any sort of SBC done while generating coins, while maybe making those other upgrades that count as SBCs, but you're able to throw your off leagues or things that aren't important into said SBC. Or is every time you do one, every time you put 30 players in, does that count as maybe like the new version of what could get you SBC banned? Because if that's the case, doing 100 teams of 30 bronzes is going to be different than doing 30 walkouts, right? I'm curious to see how that ends up going. But then also, too, when it comes to extensions, the rumor is that extensions aren't going to be usable at the start of the game for 27. Is the reason being they don't want you making SBCs on there? Or is the reason being you physically cannot use the new system with extensions? Do you even have the capability to? YouTube is doubling the viewership requirements new creators must meet to earn ad and premium revenue from February 1st. Creators will 1,000 watch hours, 12 months, and over 20 million shorts. Or 20 million shorts views in 90. And that's only for tier 1. That's only for access to like YouTube membership badges. That's not even probably the next tier where you get access to AdSense, I would assume. Right? Also, Loki, the system's a copy paste from FC Mobile. I've heard that, but then I haven't seen that either. So I want to see an example on FC Mobile what that looks like without having to play the game myself. Like, is there a YouTube channel that you can point to or a way I can see those? Because I want to get ready for that system and what it could look like. I'm already doing the mental math on stuff. We're going to have videos before 27 comes out on like what I'd recommend doing early on, what I plan on doing. We're going to go over like mathematical stuff where it's like, if we know in the beta, you can get a, let's say a rare mixed players pack for 5k points. And we know a 75 rated is 50 points and an 80 rated is 100 points. What methods you could maybe attain X amount of points a day easily. From the 87 to 90, I got 11 specials, and the remaining are just gold. EA is actually pushing us away and did 35 packs of 85 times 2. More than 40% are just 85s. They want to save SBCs on Companion app till FC28 to sell their game. I mean, you can do that. If you just want to buy 87s, you can. I would recommend buying 87s from the coins you're already making from the grind. If you had like 100k just to your name, I wouldn't necessarily put 100k into buying out 87s to put into provisions and then hope and pray it gets you far. But if it's coins you're already making from said grind, like the Jumbo Gold Pack and the Small Gold Players Pack from the 95 pluses we're doing, absolutely go for it. Not for ads and premium ads. Wait, what's the difference between ads and premium ads? Oh, people who have YouTube Premium, the AdSense revenue from them. 1,000 subs, 8,000 watch hours in a year, or 2 million short views in 90 days. It's the same with the new token system. You can't access this on the web app. It's just outdated. I would even say you can't even access it right now. You can't access it right now. It's something that maybe you could access in the future. Like, maybe Companion app has access to the point system at the start of 27, but because EA... Actually, no, that's 100% the reason. EA's probably not sneak dissing extensions from the standpoint of, like, they're banning them for 27. EA's probably seen it from the standpoint of, we don't want to do the work to actually make it so people can use our web app version of the game and do these new SBCs, which is interesting because if that's the case, when we get early access to the web app before the early release of the game, I wonder if we're only going to be able to do like the beginner SBCs and stuff like that they said would be like the old school style of SBCs. I wonder if we won't be able to touch anything else. I'm very curious now. YouTube Premium subs are watching are worth more since we skip the ads and pay YouTube directly. Oh, I know, buddy. I know. I appreciate every single one of you guys' YouTube Premiums. You guys are the goats. Especially the ones that menu grind. Watch the streams for many hours. YouTube Premium is amazing. I love it. But why is everything becoming subscription-based? It's not like we don't pay enough already for the UK Stupid TV. Yeah. TV license is so dumb. I always thought it'd be fun for people with YouTube Premium. Kind of like, you know how Twitch, if you have a Twitch Prime account, you get a free sub. If you have a Amazon Prime, you get a free sub. I wish they allowed people with YouTube Premium to be able to get a free YouTube membership per month. But obviously you can price your YouTube memberships at different prices. So they could maybe put like a limit of up to like $5 a month or something. Love how Mumbo plays the worst ads when I'm trying to sleep and stream. I have no control over those. YouTube plays them for me. Unless it's Sharky, then I specifically get to tailor a ad to him at the worst times. That would be amazing. It'd be excellent value too. I think a lot more people would use the system as well. Probably gave you like over 200 premium hours already. Most likely. Way more than that too. Have you tried multi-streaming? Yep. I've multi-streamed over the years. I had times where I was exclusively on Twitch. Times where I was exclusively on YouTube. So if you guys ever want to drop a follow on the Twitch, twitch.tv/MumboElite. There was a time when I was in the summer of college where I was full-time Twitch streaming. After my summer job ended and I had a few weeks left before the school year started. Literally did Fortnite streams full-time. What should I send in exchanges? I personally send basically all 87 to 94s. But you can kind of do what you want. Think there's a growing TikTok market? Yes and no. It's been a growing TikTok market for a long time, but you got to ask yourself what audience you want to. So for example, if you've been to this channel throughout the last like 4 or 5 years, I'm not saying like all of you guys have been around that long, but like if you go look back at streams we did 4 or 5 years ago, or videos we did 4 or 5 years ago, you'll see the views being up and down, up and down, up and down, depending on how good the content is on the game, depending on how good the game is, the amount of market there. But like the one thing that sticks the same is like our YouTube streaming community, like the people who watch and actively type in chat. You'll have like a core of similar people, and then you'll have fringe characters who come in. So the example I'll use is like people will say all the time, yo Mumbo, don't you want to grow your channel more? Don't you want to do this, that? Yes, but I want to grow it through the niche, grow it through the content that I enjoy making. I don't want to just chase things to chase things. Perfect example. If I went to TikTok, if you told me right now I could go to TikTok and dual stream on there, and I would get 100 subs a stream to come to YouTube in our community, but every single one of them was a C-Barbs, is that worth it? To me, that's probably not a good trade-off, right? No disrespect to C-Barbs, but like, that would just be hectic. That's the thing. They'll watch a video from the sake of teaching them the basics of something if they can have their attention span that long, but like for long form content, it's not ideal. And like, the more you guys are here, the more you kind of get my vibe. I'm just kind of like, outside of the education aspect, it's just chill vibes, dude. I'm hanging out and talking to you guys like you're the bros, and we're opening packs, spamming menus, making coins, occasionally playing gameplay, and then talking football. 100 C-Barbs? But no, like, think about it that way, right? If every new sub that came in was the same question being asked, me saying the same thing back to them to answer it, not necessarily that the next person didn't hear it and then they ask it again, but think about it from the perspective of like, they can't be bothered to watch a video. They don't want to actually do what you're trying to tell them to do. So I have no issue with people having questions if they're confused on something. My issue comes when they want you to do it for them. You know what I mean? And like, you'll see those people occasionally come into chat where you're like, dude, Mumbo, just for the next 10 minutes, just show me step by step real quick. For the next 10 minutes. Just do it once, bro. Then I'll stop asking. But there's a video. You can see the exact thing you're asking for. Step by step. I know, but I don't want to watch the video right now. So if I did step by step right now for the next 10 minutes, that would be helpful to you? Yes. Okay. And then I'll go to my finished videos in my editing software. I'll find the video that I just uploaded to YouTube. I'll share my screen of the first like 20 seconds of said video. I'm like, is this helpful? Yeah, that's the exact video that you're supposed to watch. Go watch it. But like, also too, think of it from like an education standpoint, right? If someone missed the lecture, if someone missed class, if someone didn't do their homework, if someone missed all these things, you're going to be at a different standpoint than the rest of the people who watched that lecture, did that homework assignment, did same thing, which that over the course of time becomes infinitely more difficult to do. If you don't know how to do the premium mix, finding out how you can do other SBCs when the premium mix goes into it becomes infinitely harder for multitude of reasons now. So on and so forth. If you're not understanding the aspect of not only how you can generate coins from said grind, how those coins change depending on what the pack is, what the quick sell values of stuff are, and these are things you learn over time, right? You don't join a football academy and then you're playing for the first team within your first appearance there, your first practice. It just doesn't work that way. You'll get some U18 minutes, you'll get some U21 minutes, maybe preseason, you're in the group, you get some minutes off the bench, second half. It's not like you're going to be starting week in and week out in the Premier League. There's just different levels of it. You got to work your way up. But also, like, sometimes I'll come across a little bit more harsh to certain individuals than others. I never want to sound like I don't care about helping you guys out, because that's literally my goal. But I want to respect the people that are here the most, if that makes sense. I want to respect your guys' time. I want to respect your chilling and laying out. If the stream becomes a thing where all we're doing is literally answering the same question over and over and over and over and over again, you're going to be like, dude, not even that you're bored. You're going to be like, bro, I'm getting annoyed now. But then there's like the respect aspect too, where it's like, if someone's not going to respect you trying to help them in the best way you know how, why should you allow them to continue doing that? Doesn't make sense. If you're hanging out with your mate and your mate has another friend that happens to be hanging out with you guys, and the dude just seems like the worst dude ever, you're not going to want to hang out with him next time. You might feel like you're forced to hang out with him in that moment, but the next time you see him around, you probably don't want to hang out. Respect C-Barbs, at least he makes it sound like he's done, which is exactly why we give C-Barbs a hard time and use him as the example. He's quite literally the exact reason you engage with the content. He started as the person who didn't want to watch a video, didn't want to actually learn something himself. He wanted to be spoon-fed, and it took him months of realizing he can't be spoon-fed anymore. And if he just took the bare minimum time to learn things and slowly grow from there, it's going to become infinitely easier. And that's what he did. It literally started with, okay, explain this back to me. You said you kind of understand what the grind is. What do you think the grind is? Tell me what the grind is. He lays out the basics. He gets one little thing wrong. We say, that was almost correct. There's one little part missing. Do you know what it is? He points it out. Okay, sweet. We're working in the right direction. It's literally just teaching. It's like I'm a teacher. And ironically enough, I love teaching. My family are all teachers. And they want me to be a teacher. And I tell them, I say, hey, I do it through this, baby. But then also, too, you got to realize, it's like, if you're dealing with like a 30-year-old versus a 20-year-old versus a 50-year-old versus an 8-year-old, that question of how are you grinding is going to come across differently too. Like, an 8-year-old is not going to be able to grasp the same things that a 50-year-old is. The 50-year-old may not have the time that the 20-year-old has. The 30-year-old may have the money, but not the time, but wants to grind. Like, all these different areas. I'm a lurker. I love watching your streams and videos. Just lurking in the stream. Appreciate you, brother. Yeah, I'm a lurker when I do streams and stuff too. I'm actually surprised so many people type in chat. Dude, that seems like a full-time job. Especially if you're grinding too. Like, I could imagine being in the middle of making player picks, going over. Props though. Also, too, we're almost 2 hours in. We're approaching an hour 40. I have 83 repeatable footies provision packs. We've built up a few, I think 3 or 4, 95 plus. We did. Provision packs, I still have 42 because we didn't open the daily ones today. I haven't made the 8790s yet, but I've opened all my dailies. 8410s, 8510s, 88.5s. Crafting upgrades continue climbing towards 600. I still have 30 85 doubles. We are still in a position where I have more stuff than when I started, and we're 2 hours in. While also making, I think, what would you say, maybe 50 player picks? But once I rip through the 85 doubles, once I make some more provisions, I span those provisions and put them directly into the player picks, that's when it's going to start going down. That's when you're not going to see it go as far. Typing between soft pins. Yes, sir. I'll probably have to do that one later. I'll do that on Foot Genie. I feel like I can't be bothered to do that right now. It's 85 PP is ass, 84 cleared. I agree. So true, King. Mumbo is the reason why C-Barbs is alive? We haven't heard from C-Barbs in like a week or two, have we? Been able to consistently get footies in my 84 plus, but not a single one in the 85 plus. Really? My issue is we're getting all the footies that aren't 99 or 98 in the 85 plus, but the recyclability isn't as good. People have the grind video in front of them, yet they can't be bothered to watch the video. Well, there's another camp of people that I haven't mentioned yet, which I think majority of you guys fall into occasionally too. So, the hardest camp of people to engage with when it comes to videos is, so, you'll have two things that'll happen. You'll have, let's use the premium mix, for example. If you watch the premium mix video or you're in the streams, you know how we did the premium mix for so long. When it comes to, like, let's say a player pick coming out, and it would be for the longest time, premium mix into the player pick, there'd be the group of people where would come to the stream. They don't really need guidance at all. They're doing the same grind that I was doing before. They'll just ask a quick clarifying question where it's like, yo, has it been the same grind we're doing before, just into player picks? That's the biggest group of you guys. And I say, yeah, gotcha. Same thing. Same thing. This and that. Or I can quickly say a tweak. But when it's been then maybe a few weeks or throughout the week, we had other things that come out and there's a little bit more min-max. We're doing different examples of like, okay, before in the Jumbo Gold, we saved all the players. We quick sold all the consumables. Now we're selling the consumables and saving the players. Putting this into that. We're doing the on-off method one day. We're not doing the on-off method one day. There's too many variations where even if we're doing the premium mix, there's like 5 different routes you could grind it, where if someone took a week or two off for grinding, in their head they know what they're doing, but it might look drastically different to what it is now. So then when that same person comes back, and it's like, yo, Mumbo, are we still doing the premium mix? It's harder for me to answer that, because it's like, yes, but if you engage with this the way we're doing the premium mix 2 months ago, it's going to be entirely different than how we're doing it now. You're probably going to make less coins than you could be. You're probably not as efficient as you could be. That sort of thing becomes more difficult, because then the thing you have to ask is someone who watched a single video, knows 90% of what to do, try to encourage them to watch a 10-minute video where 90% of the information is going to be exactly what they know, but they need that other 10%. But it's just enough information where it's not quickly, easily able to be said in stream and shown, but it's short enough where they can get it in a video. That's where I struggle the most with it. It's like, I find that me pinning a comment on said video helps a ton. Like I did it today in the newest one, where I basically took what we talked about in the video, laid it out, and I did like a schedule of like, okay, this is what we have to worry about Monday to Wednesday. If we're doing all our dailies and we're submitting our exchanges from 87 and you are doing it up to 90, it's going to be more beneficial now to do it to 94. We talked about that in the video a bit, but like I laid it out there. And then we talked about, hey, we're going to have potentially this grind coming, and this grind coming. So like, even though this isn't the best, it could get better with this said thing. I'm at a low rated gold, so I have put 84s and 85s. They should have just kept the price the same. That's too easy for me. Guys, EA could have easily kept everything the same, but they went out of their way to not even copy and paste. They purposely made it more difficult for us. WEA. They saw it was too easy. They said we want to challenge them because we believe they're doing a wonderful job. What am I even doing right now? I don't even know what I need to clear. What's my dupe storage looking like? It's... Alright, we go back. Run it back. Well, you can't even get 98s and 99s like last year, so at least make life easier if we can pack shit. True. I'm closing in on the 100 mark. W. Good night, Mom. Good night, buddy. They just wrote, Grok, give me the worst requirements possible for a new 85 plus player pick. Grok answers back. It's calculated. It appears if you follow suit with the rest of the menu grind you've been doing this year, that would be classified as the worst possible grind. I can point to some exchanges. I can point to some examples if you want. Would you like that? Question mark. Loading. I'm pulling from different social media platforms, and there's a consensus that the content you guys have been putting out is already really bad. Care for me to provide some examples? Question mark. Bagel, what's up, buddy? Welcome back, brother. My luck ran out in winter wildcards after I got 94 Cruyff. Oh, guys, I forgot to tell you something because it happened last night when I was watching Big Brother. I have an issue with these strikers. Do you know what my issue is? We got 99 Cruyff. We got 97 Charisma. But I'm struggling with something. Does anyone know what I'm struggling with? I think Endrick would be a good fit for Sunderland. He's decent, but he needs to take a step down, in my opinion, and be in Madrid, inflates benchwarmers' egos like crazy. Yes and no. If Sunderland owned Endrick in the sense of like it was a loan with a obligation or option to buy, and Real Madrid had no ability to retain him, absolutely. But Sunderland needs a competing / backup striker. Where Endrick needs to go is where he's going to hop in and get consistent minutes. He's not going to get that ahead of Brian Brobby. He's not going to get that ahead of Wilson Isidore in the sense of that's what Sunderland cares about. Kresma doesn't have rapid. True, he doesn't. But my issue is, if I'm playing both of these guys striker, we got Prince on the bench, Jesus on the bench. If I have those as the options, where's the Ibra that I packed gonna play? +84 player pick, boys. This little cutie popped out. So, this is the card that we can Evo into the footies, right? What's the Evo people have been putting him into? This was the Ebro that we were chasing. We didn't realize what his rating was, though. Got him a week ago? Nice. We finally got him. But so do you guys know which one it is we have to put him in? I need to make sure we do this correctly. Is it a single one or is it a chain? Freddy getting soft man, so I soft for a bit. You know, Lasagna. It's a chain and there's a better one out too? Okay. So, am I able to find it on... Am I able to do it on here? I don't think I've done any, so I should have access to all of them. What's the chain? Is it 2? I can build it for you on Foot Genie. Is it more than 2? If it's more than 2, I can look it up and find it myself. But if someone knows what are the ones, I take it back. I can find it later. That'll be an off-stream project. Or do we not do what's meta and the best, and we make him unique? Can I make that Ibra a center back? Play him alongside Thiago Silva? What are we putting rares and commons into? I'm putting commons into the 80 plus times 5 still. And rares mainly into the 85 double. Center back shift Evo? Heck yeah. I'm 100% doing that then. Made a Dino Trophy Times Evo with a blueprint. He was cool, but he's outdated after a week. See, that's where you guys are getting everything wrong, though, in my opinion. Meta's cool, but meta's always chased. If you don't go meta, and it's already not as good, it becomes more and more impressive the more time goes on, if you do well with said cards. I feel like when I eventually get into more gameplay next year, I'm going to become like a Zweibek child. I'm going to be like, you know what? I'm turning Thiago Silva into a box-to-box midfielder. I'm going to make a full Brazilian team on the players that look the closest to Thiago Silva. If there's a player with a mustache, I'm making a whole mustache FC in Evo, and it's going to be fun. Mumbo's right. I use 96 Endrick, and he scores a hat trick every game. Solely tradable card. Can I save it from quick sell recovery? I can't see the card in there. If it's untradeable and you quick sell it, can you recover it? I've never tried to before. I'm not sure. Does anyone know? Is that possible? Or is it GG's? You've seen a Pele center back? That'd be cold. So you're putting all rares in the 85 double and not doing any 85 pleepies? No, I'm doing both. I would watch our video from today if you haven't, for the step-by-step tutorials. If you're interested in those, on how to grind them. But the quick answer is, if you focus only on the player pick, you will go into a negative direction very quickly and it'll suck your club. So just got to be careful of that. So for most people, probably want to put a limit on how much you do. If you're endlessly spamming the 84 plus player pick before, doing nothing else, you're not going to be able to do the same thing with the 85 plus player pick. You can recover. Also puts a shit ton of Parmesan on their lasagna. Parmesan. Dude, I love Parmesan on lasagna. Why do you always talk in third person plural? Do I? Give an example. I wanna hear it back to me. What's up, buddy? How you doing today, Cliff? Double. Well, then what's the downside to only 85 double? The downside of the 85 double is the same downside it was when the 84 player pick was out. The 84 plus player pick was better value for the amount of cards it took and got back versus the 85 double. So in terms of like 84 player pick was the priority. You could do 85 double, but it wasn't as good as the 84 plus. But the 85 plus is not only worse than the 84 plus player pick, it's also worse than the 85 double. So compared to the 85 player pick, the 85 double is infinitely clear, but both are not as good as what, in my opinion, the 84 plus player pick was. Not third person, sorry, but plural, like our videos. I guess I do that, don't I? I guess I never thought of it, man. It sounds weird saying my videos, I guess. I don't know. I just consider, like, the grind a community grind, if that makes sense. Like, if I'm making videos on something, it's to help out, but, like, also it's things that we all bounce off each other in here. This is, like, our community, our channel. But, like, for example, Cliff, when we had the back and forth, was it during... Gosh, what was it? Was it the premium mix was still in there, and there was some SBC that was out, and we were having a nerd off of the math behind the difference of cards needed daily if we made Team of the Week upgrades and put them into the 8410, like the amount of cards you potentially lose out on, this and that. And I was trying, in my head, I think so much in the premium mix, and I get people to grind the premium mix so much. My logic going into it is, but if you're grinding the premium mix, the amount of cards doesn't matter because you're working in the positive direction. It's just a byproduct of the grind. But listening to your thing, I was hearing it more from the perspective of like, yeah, I know you can do that, but logically, do you even need to? Is it even worth it? What is the point of potentially wasting cards here? Or so on and so forth. I can't remember the exact points because it's been a few weeks now. But, like, I remember sitting there, I'm like, I mean, he's bringing up valid points. And, like, I think part of my grind after that, like, took that into account where it's like, okay, just because you can do something, realistically, should you? You can do all the 8410s daily, but if your goal is to try to get maybe a 99 out of them, that's not going to be ideal. And if you're already struggling to get Team of the Weeks, if you're already struggling to do the other menu grinds, should I tell someone, does it make sense to tell someone they should be completing all these daily if they're really struggling and maybe the way they complete it towards the end to try to catch up is spending coins on it? Is that potentially not a good thing? So it's like, as much as like some of the videos is me helping you guys, other ones are like you guys helping me. There are a lot of you guys heavily pushing me to do the 85 double when the 84 plus player pick was out, and I was like, nope. And then off stream, I would try it out. I'm like, okay, let's see what the 85 double hype is about. And how quickly I was able to clear my dupe storage of gold rares doing it, because it needed 10 cards, even though mathematically it wasn't as good. Felt so nice to spam through the menus and clean up stuff. Alright, are we out of those? Sweet. Oh no, we have still 35 to go. You saved it? Nice. However, if they are more expensive, then you get soft banned less often. Not more expensive. If it's more... If more cards are needed into said thing, you're making less SBCs total. So, like, 85 double, you'll get less SBC ban than the 84 player pick for that reason, yeah. That's a good way to think about it, too. But, guys, credit where credit's due. Everyone was complaining about SBC bans when it came to the menu grind. I don't know about you guys. I haven't heard anyone complain about an SBC ban today with the menu grind EA gave us. Sounds like they fixed the problem by creating a problem. Can you show us your team? WEA. How do you feel about the new SBC system in M27? I'm super excited that it's going to be something new to learn. This is my foot pick, please, team. And then my actual team's a Sunderland team. I'm excited to learn the new system. I think with the new system, there's going to be pros and cons to it. I think in terms of the value of said SBCs, it's going to be very hit and miss. I think early on, we might see EA really struggle with how much like SBC points something should be worth. But then there's also going to be some things that are completely broken. We're going to have to find a balance. And in my head right now, what I'm trying to think about is what I want to do early game. I usually do some BPM, but mainly do mass bidding on silvers to club stock as an investment. I think doing that will still be good, but I think stocking up high rated 70 golds will be good too. Like if I can get 75 to 80 rated golds consistently, club stocking and flipping, that'll be really good in my opinion. Can you do some of the 94 icon packs? No, but I can do some of the 95 plus FOF footies picks if you want me to. Because I have like 50 footies cards to get through still. How do you have the time to grind EA this much? I work 8 to 9 hour day. And then I get off the game. Or I get off of work. Unload the dishes. Make myself a snack. Turn around and spend a few hours on this. Unless I have football, like tonight. Then I go to football. Is the 285 Unlimited like the 84 PP? The math is similar, but not exact. If you were to compare the 84 plus player pick to the 85 double, it was better value. 85 doubles better math than the 85 PP. You're putting in 10 gold rares to get 2 back versus the 84 PP, you're putting in 4 rares to get 1 back. So if you made 2 PPs, you'd get 2 cards back total and it costs you 8 gold rares. You're getting 2 cards now for 10 gold rares. I work an 8-hour day, then get off the game. Hey, if it's squad battles time of the year, sometimes that feels more like a full-time job than my actual job. When the first season pass rolls around and we have to do objectives, I'd rather be working. Catch me at like 11 p.m. at night. I'm trying to score with an Argentinian, cross with a Mexican, and do a low-driven shot with a Peruvian. Just so I can get a 77 plus times 2. That's also fully repeatable on the menus. I feel like the pack is better value though, because it's one squad and you can make like 20 of them. If you have packs built up, if you've done any menu grind leading up to this point, it's going to be a really good grind. If you're going the same way people were with 84 plus player picks, where you're just starting the grind from scratch and you're trying to make one off to have it pay for the next one, it's going to feel more difficult than the player pick was, the 84 one. But if you have any amount of grinding, especially the daily grinding, you're good. What's a super cam to get for 1.5 mil? I would ask a gameplay person, or if you're asking chat, ask chat. I have no idea. This grind only takes 3 days until Thursday with a lot of SVCs expiring until they make the 790 unlimited. I think we're cooking. Would you guys like an unlimited 87 to 90 times 3? I don't think that would be worth it in my opinion. I'd much rather an unlimited 8410 for an 83 raid squad and have an FOF or team of the season or team of the week or footies needed than an 83 squad for that. If it's not a one or the other and we can get both, that'd be good. But yeah, those SP objectives drive me nuts. The only fun part is making the most efficient squad to complete it. Yeah. And also too, like, I know I'm part to blame with this. It's not just you guys thing. It's not just people who play video games nowadays. It's just a part of the game. We want to make it as easy as possible to do those things. If there's a combination where we can make like a squad with like half of them in, and we can get all the challenges done within a certain amount of games rather than doing them separately, we want to know that, so we search for the information or we get recommended videos that do said thing. I miss being a child who had no idea what he was doing and having to learn like as it was happening. Like part of the fun was kind of not being good at it and being wasteful in it potentially taking longer, because ironically, it meant using the cards meant more. Like, how many videos I remember watching back in the day where it's like cheap meta beasts where I'm playing with a 750 coin card because I can't understand how to watch the videos to make millions of coins and afford the best cards in the game. I just stick with like the meta cheap squad. But then at the same time too, I didn't care about that because I packed a discard Korean center back 80 rated with 50 pace, and it looked cool that I had a special card in my team, so I flexed that to my mates and had that in over an overpowered center back. How do I grind the 85 plus player pick? I can only craft like 15 at a time. I would take a look at the video we uploaded today, Beam, for like the best possible routes if you're really trying to stretch those alone as far as you can get per day. But in general, if you're trying to compare it to the 84 plus, doing that alone, it's going to eat your club. I'd recommend not having that be the main focus and look at other repeatable SBCs that you can do alongside of that. The video we uploaded today. True. You're catching on. Wait. Legally, I have to say me. Because I don't want you guys claiming, I mean, he's making money on these videos. He's saying it's a team effort. If I made $1.50 on the last video, but we as a community were the 300 people that came to the stream today, 300 people should get a cut, right? Alright, we're going to set up a model where you guys can get paid from the AdSense. We're going to hive mind this. We're going to be a production line of content. We're going to have one of you guys come up with the ideas and new content. When I'm just getting on my lunch break and I'm looking at them. One of you's already grinding. You're going to message me what's working, what's not working. I'm then going to hop on so I can record instantly. I'm then going to hit submit. I'm going to send that video to someone who just finished their workday so they can edit it. We're going to have a whole assembly line ready to go. It's going to be perfect. Is the 85 double better value than the 85? Yes, it's better value. YouTuber once put me in his intro when I said he fell off and I claimed copyright. I'm so evil. That's horrible. Did it work? Meta cheap players don't exist anymore. The only reason they were good, like Ryan Kent, etc., is because they were fundamentally different. Now it's only based on stats. I agree and disagree. I agree with the logic you use. But if you go further back than Ryan Kent, what worked so well with everyone using Doumbia, Ibarbo, and Gervinho was no one could really afford the highest end cards in the game with the best of stats. And everyone was using those cheap beasts. But you were also playing against people from different skill levels. You had people who never watched YouTube videos and different things. There was less sameness. There was difference in everyone's setup. So the reason that worked so well is like you could hop in against a random opponent and you weren't guaranteed the same team every single time. Same thing with like Evos to a certain extent. Evos started with like everyone doing like my Sunderland team. Someone had a Newcastle one. People would do those. And that was probably somewhat what EA wanted, but also EA wanted to make very meta cards that you'd buy the Evos for. And then what Evos turned into was, instead of packing promo cards, we're going to make the best possible card here. And then that's when it became really bad, in my opinion. Is it better to make Team of the Week upgrades or just use 95 footies? So, for me, I'm only speaking for me. I know a lot of you guys are having the same problem. The rate you guys are packing footies are infinitely more than what you can use them for in dailies. And they just start filling up more and more of your dupe storage. So for me, I basically use all the FOFs in Team of the Seasons that I'm packing daily in my club and in my dupe storage. I'm able to use all those for the 8410, 8510, 88 fives. And then what I do is instead of saving a bunch of like low 90 rated dupe special cards to put into the footies, PP, I'll instead use those as additional exchanges to get me additional golds to get more additional footies, which gets me the footies faster, which means I can put more footies into these. And the only thing I have to worry about in my dupe storage is the footies. I basically want my dupe storage to be footies in 85s and 86s. And then I go and do a bunch of these. And then once the 85s and 86s go away, or once my footies start getting low, I kind of go back to the other aspects of the grind. Now I find that balance works insanely well. If that makes sense. Got demonetized, so I got like $1.2. Yeah, if you guys have a storage problem, that's the main part of the menu grind I'd address. Get your storage on lock. You should have a system to it. You should never really worry about it getting full and not knowing what to do with it. You should always have a route. So if I'm getting full, and it's because I'm spamming provision packs, it might be gold rares and gold commons. So that I make 80 plus times 5s and 85 doubles, or at the time player picks. Then if it's the higher rated footies, it's mixing those into the FOFs and other things. Boom, 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 boom. Good tip to put out there if you're struggling for cards. Check the token store. FOF token, 10 tokens for an 8110, or for 100 tokens or tradable pack with some players. Also, too, if you guys just want the easiest coins in the world and you're willing to not even sweat FUT champs, but play and win a few FUT champs games, the tradable packs for FUT champs, and probably even footies too. I'm not familiar with the footies ones, but if you can win a few games of FUT champs, bro, there's packs where if it's like an 86 plus times 10, 86 plus times 20 tradable, you're probably getting a crap ton of quick sell bare minimum 10 plus K. You're making hundreds of thousands of coins very easily. Weekly. Add that in with the footies. If you're doing footies and FUT champs, you're doing objectives, you're getting packs there. Like, bro, I didn't touch gameplay for, it felt like weeks. I played a single game of Div Rivals. I had 18 objectives where I had like 10 90 plus players just put into my account then. I played a single game of FUT champs. I got like another 12 objectives. Like an 88 player pick. I got a bunch of like keep racism out of La Liga. Kits, badges, Tifus. What's the grind now? Basically the same thing as before, but most people are focusing on 85 doubles over 85 plus player pick. I'm still probably doing 50 to 100 of the player picks today, but also focusing more on the 85 doubles. Montreal agreed deal to sign Sanchez on a free transfer. Just happened. W. Did I allow 84s in that? Okay, I did. We just must not have a lot in there. Did I use all my 84s for 85 doubles, maybe? Oh, no, there they are. I was going to say, where did they go? Usually 7 to 11 wins players, so I get about 500k a week, which is crazy, man. That's like the thing too, right? You could do that. Like, what you're already doing is now infinitely more profitable than it was weeks ago. Same thing with like the premium mix and other things. If you're grinding the premium mix, which for starters, I don't do anymore. Are you guys proud of me? I stopped doing the premium mix like a week ago. If you go back to even just like the basics of that, you can get coins faster than that, than the 95 plus player pick tradable packs. And ironically, people are going back to it now. Tuna promised Mexico to get them out of CONCACAF and put them in the Comedy Bowl if he continues to be FIFA president. Part of me would hate that because I love the rivalry against Mexico. But the CONCACAF in me would love for them to join Comedy Bowl to see them absolutely terrorize Argentinian teams. So if we're talking club competitions, I think they would do... I think if the MLS and Liga MX keeps getting better, I would love for them to, just in general, face South American opponents more often. But when it comes to national teams, specifically like those sort of things, I mean, culturally, I think they'd fit really well too down there. I don't know. There's a lot of similarities between North America and South America. The north parts of South America and the southern parts of North America. What does Mexico want? It sounds like that's what they want. And that's why he's saying he could do it. Having a couple hundred crafting upgrades saved came in clutch. Yes, sir. Every single person who took my advice to save up at least some, I hope you're glad you did it. It has been the best thing ever. And I haven't even touched ours yet. We're going to have like 700 before I have to touch them. Got 8 icon packs. Nice. Got SoftBand anyways. I made 110. Happy for the day. You might actually be the first person I've seen get SoftBand so far. Footies! It can't be a 99. Got Softman twice today. Giannis is grinding. 3 Schmeichels, 3 Cafus, 1 Ugly Prince. Is dude, Prince scored a banger against me. I don't know if she's like OP right now or what, but she's just kind of laughable fodder for a long time in our community. This new player pick, I doubt they'll give us any good unlimited grind until September. Hopefully I'm wrong. I agree and disagree. So, for example, like, if we go back to comparing the 85 double versus the 84 plus player pick, they were relatively close for different reasons, but both really good grinds. We would need a better provision. Like, on Thursday, if we got an even better provision pack, that could make the 85 plus player pick easier to do. But if you take even the player pick out of contention, if you made the 85 double even easier to do too, as a byproduct of having that come out, think about how many more 85 doubles you could spam. Think about not having to select a single one, but spam opening maybe 100 to 200 on Foot Genie or Pale Tools. Think about if we had an 84 plus times 10 unlimited come out maybe Friday. How much easier it would be to make provisions, build out other things. You'd have like a card difference still that you'd have to address, but you'd be able to fill that in a plethora of ways. Bronzes, silvers, additional golds in the grind. Okay, it's better to redeem the free pass now or wait for the next one. I'm not sure, to be fair. I've just not like looked at the season pass at all. I couldn't tell you. It's the most I've grinded this year. Yet. The most we've grinded yet. Pack 3, 96. Richards. Pack 4, another handshake. 5. Gilberto. Gilberto. Dude, the footies drop rate is crazy right now. Is your guys' footy drop rate crazy in the 85 doubles? I can't. I'm trying to get rid of these cards. Do I have to start putting 3 footies cards in per one? Should I just start putting 83s and 82s in and putting 3 footies? It's gonna be identical. It's gonna be a Sam. Even worse. It's an Inter card. Next season made unless you're using coins. Wait, so did they say how long seasons are going to be in 27? I'm trying to figure out with my Ultimate Plus pre-order how far into the year our season passes will be covered. Can't make it up. Packed another Prince. Alright, I should be done streaming by now. I gotta get ready for the football match, but I can't stop. Bro's acting like he earns SP. Some dude asked me why I was on level 1 the other day. He's like, bro, how do you have like 20 million coins, but you're not even at any levels? I'm a degenerate menu grinder. Put my footies in the 88 times 5, the 8510, 8410s. I get rid of them. Good, but still have 20 plus every time. Yeah, I mean, I could probably start putting them towards that too. But my issue is I have the same problem with the FOFs and Team of the Seasons. I fill my club with them when we open these sort of packs. And then after we're done opening these packs, we get them all again for the 8510s, 8410s that we just created them all with. We get them all back. So I don't even get a chance to use my footies. They just keep filling up. Now, you know it would be the ultimate OP coin method, and I hope they do at some point. If we get like a campaign re-release pick or something like that, where we're able to put like an 83 and an 84 rated team. Maybe one of them needs a team of the week. Doesn't matter. Team of the week, team of the season, everyone. It was 2 okay tradable packs. But I could dump like a footies card and then like an 80 rated team. A footies card and then an 81 rated team. Could you imagine how many of those we could do? Just consistently. We'd be splashing, brother. Future Stars, Hall of Foot. Future Stars, Hall of Foot, Scream Team, Winter Wild Cards, Team of the Year, or the confirmed season. Sick. It'll probably be 7 or 8. Unless the numbers are down for EA's quarterly report, then we'll get sneaked in bonus ones. They're going to have, guys, right now we have the free pass, and then we have the season pass that you get in the Ultimate Plus. They're going to release a Ultimate Plus season pass on top of that, where you get even more additional rewards. But you can't use coins for it. You're only going to be able to use FIFA points. Imagine that. Something like that I could 100% see them doing. But it's like, here's maybe where I differ. If EA is going to say, like, they want a more even playing field and people using extensions are creating an unfair advantage when it comes to SBCs and stuff, I would much rather them say, hey, if they did like a middle of the night tweet, like maybe Economist got drunk and just hopped onto Twitter and just started talking. If he said, F it, would you be okay if we gave you guys a way better menu grind, but we just shilled FIFA points even harder? Would that be a good trade-off? And then he did a poll, yes or no. I bet a ton of people would be maybe not completely on board in the sense of like they're 100% yes. But if it was a scale, I think more people would lean more towards yes than no. Because that's already the case. People already get the best items in the game by spending FIFA points and making a ton of coins through the FIFA points. So them getting even more, spending even more, I feel like there's a peak in terms of how good the teams can get. They're going to make more money from it, but it's not necessarily going to make the teams that much better. Hey man, wondering if the 2x85 plus is better than the... Yes, it 100% is better than the player pick. Out right now. Alright, imagine every release camping player pick, max rating 89, release after January 11th until June 11th. That would be a sick one, yeah. Thing about EA going private is they don't have to worry as much about quarterly. True, I guess. When does that take place, or has it already started taking place? Thanks, that's what I figured too. I don't know why they took away the 1 of 5. It was so good. Oh, you know exactly why they took it away. We all know. We were having too much fun. It was too good of a grind. You should have saw my face when it first came out and I clicked into it. I knew they were going to be shameless. I've been saying for the past week, I'm like, hey, guys, prepare your club for the case that, like, it may not be what you want. It could potentially be a better pick, but the requirements might be worse, and it could make the mini grind worse. I'd build up 80 plus sums 5s. I'd maybe save additional provision packs, just in case. In my head, I thought, I'm like, okay, they're going to add, like, 2 more rares to this. It's going to be, you need 6 rares. I click into it and I see it's a full squad. Ooh. I before I recorded, I sat there. I'm like, genuinely, I don't know what I'm going to say completely. I feel like I have to address it instantly. I just kind of laughed at it. I'm like, all right, bet. I missed the FIFA 23 menu grind. Getting 7 team of seasons and an 85-10 felt so good. Dude, I remember that Vinny video we showed the other day, or yesterday on stream. I was looking at the comments of it, and some dude commented on there. This was back when the Libertadores cards were black cards, and the Libertadores was its own league, and League SBCs were its own league. Some dude commented, he's like, dude, Mumbo, thank you so much for putting me onto the Lib League SBC method. I was expecting to, like, get most of my coins back through doing it, but I didn't expect to, like, be basically doubling my coins after every run. This is literally insane. Dude, there's been crazy menu runs every single year, regardless of what they change, make better or worse. And when he said that, that just unlocked core memories of me flipping those lib cards, doubling our coins, tripling our coins on each one, but then like the actual tradable packs on them being so good too. Gosh, I miss it. Like, I don't get why they limit it so much this year. In FC24, FIFA 23, they just made the grind limitless, but now why? They're not going to lose out on many, if any, pre-orders by doing this. They're only going to keep people on the game longer. For example, if you were able to easily get most of the 99s now, people feel like there's nothing else left to work towards. So there's less incentive for EA to do that. Not only that, if they can hold off on even giving you Evos that get to 99 rated, when they put out a big coin one, and they can put FIFA points attached to it, they can still milk us for money for another month. We view it as endgame. The next FC's coming out in a month. EA views it as it's about 10% of their year that they can still make money on. If they can milk you for another 10%, they're going to do it. Or at least that's how I view it, of their thinking. So greedy. That's the thing, right? I wouldn't mind the company being greedy if they didn't have to constantly take swings at the menu grind community and screw us over when things get better and then they make it worse. Better than worse. Then equal to what it was and then worse. If they want to be greedy but give us stuff, I'm all for that. Because I expect companies to operate in a way where they're trying to make the most money possible, but there's ways to go about it where you don't have to just screw over your audience at every chance you get. Don't let EA hire you. Dude, if EA hired me, they'd ask for my advice and then they would try to do the exact opposite. See, the people that work there, air japes and economists, like, I'm sure to a certain extent, like, you can look at old economist tweets. He genuinely thought EA was wrong, going wrong in so many directions, and had feedback of how they could fix it. And then he goes to work for the company, and everyone wants to crap on him to a certain extent, and, like, to a certain extent, rightfully so. But, like, you got to remember, he's working for a multi-billion-dollar corporation that, end of the day, gets to make the final decisions. But that's the thing that sucks, is like, if you put me at EA, right, if my job title was to understand like the menu grinding community and explain it to them, I could do that easily. But then what that would do is it would give them access to so much more info where it's like, hey, take this away. If they need this for the grind, we can take it away. Then we can make more FIFA point sales on it. I'd hire you as my pimp happily. I'm not even going to come back with anything clever. I'm just going to end the stream right there. I have a lot of packs saved up. Should I open them right now or wait until a better batch? Depending on what you have saved up, if it's packs to help you keep crafting more provisions and grind the menus while we have the 85 plus player pick that's not as good as the 84, that could probably make up the difference of what you're maybe missing out on, and have fun on the menus, but that's completely up to you, man. All right, take it easy, guys. Have a good night. God bless. Hopefully I can score tonight. Wish me luck. All right, see you guys Tuesday.